Hi, everyone. We'll just let everybody enter in and we'll get started in about a minute. Okay, we'll kick this off. Bienvenidos. Thank you for attending LatinoBuilt's second quarter membership meeting. I'm Leanna Patron and I'm the executive director, and I'm happy to see you all here today. A few housekeeping items before we start our meeting. This meeting is being recorded. Please stay muted for the duration of the presentation. And if you have the capabilities to turn on your camera, we would love to see your face. For questions during our presentation, please use the chat feature or hold them until an open question period. For those with live questions, don't forget to silence your phones. Well, so who is LatinoBuilt? For those of you who are new, and this is your first introduction to us, welcome. LatinoBuilt is two nonprofit corporations, a business trade association, LatinoBuilt Association for Contractors, servicing Latino-owned construction businesses, and we're also a charitable foundation, LatinoBuilt Foundation, servicing the Latino construction community, focusing on educational services. Why are we needed and why were we created? Well, about 73% of those 2.8 million Hispanics or Latinos working in construction in 2015 were born outside the US. And nearly 1.7 million, so almost 60% of them, were not US citizens. And 27.3% of workers in constructions were Hispanic or Latino ethnicity. And no culturally and industry specific organizations existed before LatinoBuilt was created. And we are the first of its kind. And we are so happy and thankful that you are here and part of this journey. I'm going to start off and kick off this meeting with introductions. Today, you will have the opportunity to give an introduction of yourself. I will be calling each attendee off of an alphabetical attendee list. Hope for when people are bouncing in, I'll try not to miss anybody and open it up at the end for if I had missed anybody. If your name is not listed underneath the attendees, please do list at least your first name. When you are called, please unmute yourself and state your name, your title, and your business name in your preferred language. Please make sure to keep it under 10 seconds. That's very important to keep our meeting on time. And also, please feel free to list your contact information and the same listed information into the chat as well, so you can share and network there. So we will get this kicked off. I have Aiden right on the top of my list.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aiden Gronauer. I manage our DBE Small Business and Workforce Equity Programs at TriMet.
Thank you. Okay, it's kind of bouncing around a little bit. I'm trying to get a handle of it. Okay, Alicia's iPhone.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia de Leon Mendoza. I work for James W. Fowler, and I'm their marketing coordinator.
Thank you. And we have Barbara. I didn't hear her. So Barbara, if you're having issues, you can also just place it in the chat if you don't have mic. Elizabeth.
Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Jahala, Diversity Outreach Coordinator for Anderson Construction, and our design manager, Sam Stadler, will share information about the Washington State University project. So stick around for the project presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. And Brenda. Oh, Brenda, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I'm having some difficulties with my camera. I don't know if you guys are able to see me. I'm using my phone right now. Is the camera working?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Brenda Castillo. I work with JC Pro Builders Construction. I'm the president for this business, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Caleb.
Hi, my name is Caleb McInville. I'm with the Washington State Office of Minority Women's Business Enterprises. We are the primary certification body for Washington State, and we do the DBE certification for Washington. I am the certification outreach and link deposit coordinator. Nice to see everyone here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Bernice.
Sorry, I just joined. I'm sure we're doing introductions. This is Bernice Lopez. I'm with Help Group, and I'm the treasurer of the LatinoBuilt Foundation and Association, and I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you. David Molina.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. David Molina is the Molina's Construction Company, the president and the owner, and I'm also on the LatinoBuilt Foundation as your vice chair.
Thank you. Devante.
Leanna, I love you. You got it wrong the first time, got it right this time.
I learn.
Operations Diversity Manager for Kiewit for the Southwest Washington and Oregon areas. Happy to be here. Second meeting with LatinoBuilt. But yeah.
Thank you. Emmeline.
Hello, I'm an intern here at LatinoBuilt, and it is my pleasure to help you guys.
Thank you. Eric Martinez.
Hey, Eric Martinez here with Nexus Electrical Group. I'm the signing supervisor, owner of Nexus. I do commercial, industrial. Happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you. Erin.
Hi, I'm Erin Storley. I'm with Anderson Construction. I'm the pre-construction manager for the Portland office, and I work with Elizabeth and Sam.
Great. Gilbert Leon.
Hi, everyone. Gilbert Leon, Bridgeport Interiors, president of the company, also a board member of LatinoBuilt and leader of the membership committee. Glad to be here as well, and welcome everybody.
We have also Hugo, Flores, I believe. Sorry, it's bouncing around on me.
Hi, my name is Hugo Granger Flores. I'm the representative for the Hispanic market for Equitable Advisors, and I'm really happy to be here.
Great, thank you, welcome. James.
Hi, I'm James Reyes from Verde Media. I'm the art director and co-owner as well.
Thank you.
Nice to meet
you. Jenny Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, everyone, or actually good evening. I'm Jenny Rodriguez with Twirl Advertising and Design. I'm also a board member and board member secretary and marketing chair for LatinoBuilt.
Thank you. And Judy Betts.
Hello, Judy Betts, and happy sunny Wednesday, everyone. I'm with Betts on Training and Consulting, representing Hamilton Construction.
Thank you, Judy. And Kimberly Gamble. Oh, I wasn't hearing any sound, Kimberly.
Sorry, I ended up in the car right at this time. Kimberly Gamble with Anderson Construction. I'm not driving though.
I understand. Believe me. Thank you for being here. Ken.
Hi, Ken Kubacki with Sun Construction.
Thank you. Lester.
Hi, Les Bittler. I'm the Director of Procurement and Supply Chain Management at TriMet.
Thank you. Lisa Bailey.
Hi, Lisa Bailey. I'm the Affordable Housing Program Coordinator with the City of Beaverton.
Great, thank you. Madeline.
Hi, everyone. My name is Madeline. I am with Kiewit on the Columbia Boulevard Wastewater Treatment Plant Project, and I'm serving as the Procurement Manager for all subcontract opportunities.
Thank you. Maria.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Yo soy María Azucena Gallegos García y mi esposo y yo tenemos una compañía de PDR Painting. Estamos a su servicio.
Gracias. Osvaldo.
Hello, good afternoon. Buenas tardes. I'm Osvaldo Avila. I'm with the Higher Education Coordinating Commission, but just also going over a little bit with our workforce investments, Office of Workforce Investment. So good to be here and see a former student of mine.
Welcome. Sorry, my list is totally jumping around today. Robert Lowe. Robert, are you able to unmute? Okay, we will either put your information in the chat or we can come back around to you at the end. Rosa Martinez.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Muy buenas tardes a todos. Really nice to see a lot of familiar faces. Thank you for joining us. I am president of LatinoBuilt, also a contractor at PMG Asbestos Abatement. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Flores with Ruby Heating and Cooling. I'm the co-owner. Nice to be here.
Thank you. And then I'm not sure. Oh, from Turfland.
Hi, I'm Topacio Jimenez, and this is Abelino Sandoval, and we are owners of Turfland Innovations.
Great, thank you. And I know there's a couple more that popped in here, one being Juan, I saw him.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Juan Cornell. I'm the owner and operator of Free Agent PDX, and I also am with Hunter Davison. Glad to be here.
Great. Let's see, is that Gladys?
It is. It is. Thank you so much, Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. Buenas tardes, Gladys Boutwell con Insurance by Design.
Great. I'm just scanning my list. We got another. Robert, are you able to now connect and unmute? Okay, Robert, we'll let you put it in the chat then if you're able to. Was there anybody that I missed? If now, unmute yourself or we'll move on. Thank you so much, everybody. It's great to learn about our membership here, and it's a great opportunity to connect with others as well. So next on my agenda, it is my pleasure to introduce Andres Monadas, our newest team member. We welcome him as our business advisor and member services coordinator. Andres has a background in business development, feasibility studies, and corporate financial analysis. And he is here to directly service you with the goals of generating sustainable business growth and stability. Here is Andres.
Thank you, Liana. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and excited to have you all and to report this second quarter membership meeting. I'm pretty new on the team. I'm a Latino. I'm also new in the US. And I can see, feel the barriers that we constantly face. And it's fascinating to see how our community grows fast and also to witness the reciprocity that the ecosystem generates for each one of us. I'm very happy to be part of the team and to share LatinoBuilt's mission. And I also want to, thank and acknowledge the hard work that and cooperation also that our partners, members, and of course our team had done until now, and to be able to provide the best services and opportunities for the community. I want to start to welcome all the new members since January of this year. And then I'm going to finish by thanking all the members who have renewed their membership since then too, because every one of you makes us better. So thank you about that, and I'm going to start. A+ Finish Carpentry, Aquavision Pools, Aries Drywall, Birdie Media, Cascadia Landscape and Maintenance, City of Tigard, CMJ Carpet and Installation, Colima Construction, Color Map Painting, Commonwealth Development Corporation, Corbanscape, Elevate, Elvis Painting LLC, Fortis Construction, Free Agent PDX, Heart of Oregon, JJ Construction, JMJ Construction, KeyBank, Laborers Local 737, Metro, Northwest Cutting Edge Builders, Prestige Home Construction, Silco Construction, Skanska, Turner Construction. We also have 2 Latino new business startups, which are in the incubator phase, which is Miguel Mejia and Antonio Gonzalez. Next slides, please. So these are the renewed members. Advanced Technology Communications, City of Beaverton, City of Portland, Comfort Insulation Specialist, Custom Shower Enclosure, Amy Drywall, Ideal Property Inspections, Maya Will Catering, Tamale Boy, My Oregon Painting, Ontiveros and Associates, PDR Painting, Precision Landscape, Ruby Construction, Sun Construction, The Harbor Company, Wauna, Credit Union Bank, Santa Construction, and Zapatas Design. Thank you, all of you, and we're happy to continue with you guys. Next slide.
Thank you, Andres, and welcome to the team. Now, we are very fortunate to welcome Anthony Veliz as our keynote speaker today. Anthony is the founder of Oregon Latinx Leadership Network, or OYN, a statewide movement in response to COVID-19, and the owner of EZO Public Relations and Marketing, a multicultural agency specializing in the Latino community. Anthony earned a master's degree from the University of Rhode Island in Kingston, Rhode Island, and a bachelor's degree in marketing from Portland State University. His work experience spans from U.S. Community Relations Manager for Nike to Director of Parent and Community Relations for the Woodburn School District. Paired with his passion for public service, he has been involved with the community at the local and state levels and nationally for more than 30 years. This gives him a unique perspective on the Latino community at both the national and local levels. Please help me to welcome Anthony Veliz, our keynote speaker.
Thank you, Leon. Appreciate that. And thank you, LatinoBuilt. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. I'm really excited. Buenas tardes, good afternoon. Thank you for that introduction. I do have a presentation that I think I can share, screen that. So I will see, hopefully you'll be able to see it. Let me know if you can see it. I hope you can. Let me see if I can get it in the right view format. If not, we're gonna go with this. Yes, can you guys see that?
Got it.
Okay, great. So again, thank you so much for the invitation. Again, Anthony Vélez. I'm the founder of the Oregon Latinx Leadership Network, and it's a culmination of organizations from across the state. But let me get into my presentation. I know we've just got about 20 minutes, right? I think that's about what we have, and so I'll just move on. So a little bit about me, how I arrived. ¿Cómo llegué aquí? How did I get here? Well, you know, I had a really interesting upbringing. My family arrived in Woodburn, Oregon in 1946 as campesinos, as farm workers. And my parents were farm workers. I worked in the fields since I was 16 years old. And one day in the late 1960s, a group of farm workers had a crazy idea. They go, you know, how do we get out of the fields and you know, make it better for our children and their lives? And they had a crazy idea. They said, hey, why don't we start a college? So in the 1970s, a group of my dad, my mom, and a group of farm workers organized themselves. And remember, farm workers, especially at that time, had no political power, no economic power, no connections, nada. And they started a college called Colegio Cesar Chavez. And that photo up there in the top left, obviously, is Cesar Chavez. The day he came, I remember I was about 3 years old. And that was definitely a historic moment in Oregon. One of the students was very inspired by Cesar, and his name was Cipriano Ferel, who's in the middle of these collage of photos. And Cipriano was my mentor growing up. I knew him my whole life, and I didn't know he was mentoring me, but he mentored me since I was a little boy until high school age, until his passing when I was in college. And so out of Pecún, you know, obviously Latinos had a lot of health issues. So Pecún was a catalyst to start Salud Medical Center, which is Oregon's first clinic. And coincidentally, my mom was the first employee ever of Salud Medical Clinic. So in my life, I got to learn from the best. And the best in my life were the campesinos, eran los trabajadores en la agricultura. It was the farm workers. I got to see their vision for themselves before the colegio even existed, and then it existed. I got to hear Cipriano that we needed to organize our campesinos and we needed to start a union. I was there with him before he started it and when he actually came to life. And I got to see Salud Medical Center before it existed, and then my mom started working there. So that was a really interesting experience. And so a little bit about, so all that said, I'm a public servant. I'm a humble public servant. I've been doing work in la comunidad for my entire life. And I think, you know, mis padres son católicos, tienen mucho fe. And I took that faith and I turned it into public service because I kind of see it the same. So last year, about almost a year ago to this day, obviously the pandemic started, and I literally was sitting here, and this is where I'm at right now, my kitchen. And I knew I couldn't just sit back and wait to what was going to happen to our Latino community. I knew instinctively, having experienced all these things, that we would be last, we'd be the most impacted, and it's played out exactly like I had said. So OYN, you know, when I started OYN, and as you see in my slide, this is who we're here to serve. And when I thought about everything that I do, I always think about this group. I always think about the undocumented. I always think about the indigenous Mesoamericans. I always think about the immigrants. I always think about the sick, the poor, the homeless, the hungry, the incarcerated, and our community who is invisible. So with that spirit, I started OYN to help combat COVID-19. So over this past year, this is, just so you know, OYN is a collective of it started with only 50 community-based organizations, and now it's over 100 community-based organizations all across the state of Oregon, from Stanfield, Oregon, to Ontario, to Madras, to Woodburn, to anywhere you name it, across the coast, seaside, all the way down to Southern Oregon. And we have over 100 community-based organizations. We helped write in the beginning a call to action, which was sent out to the state, county, federal, all the public elected officials on some demands that centered around, which I'll talk about. And we just built this town hall. So even today, we've had a town hall every single Wednesday for over an entire year now. And what we've done is we created our comunidad, right? Where this is our space, and we invite people like Senator Merkley, Governor Brown, all the state agency heads, Representative Teresa Alonso Leon, and many, many, many others. So we've created this colectivo, this movimiento, and which I'm really proud of. So why is it important? ¿Por qué está importante? Bueno, somos la mayoría. And when I talk about the mayoría, we are the invisible majority in Oregon. We are by far the largest racial ethnic group in Oregon, period. And the data on the right proves it. I'm not making this up. It's data driven, it's proof. But you know what? If you looked at the leadership, if you looked at the equitable investment resources, you would know that we were 13.4% of the population. You would know that there was over 500,000 of us and over 100,000 undocumented citizens. You wouldn't even know that we consist of 25% of the K-12 population. And you probably wouldn't know that we are 1 in 4 births. So it is my OIN's mission and responsibility to make sure to wake everybody up and say, you know what, aquí estamos, siempre estamos aquí, and we're here, and we're a thriving group of people, a very young group of people, and it's time for us to be heard. So I mentioned these already. Tenemos dos áreas que básicamente que enfocamos. Cada vez que hablo con un director, gobernadora, cualquier persona, siempre estoy diciendo, hey, we need equitable investment and distribution of resources, because this is not happening. I can guarantee you it. I can prove it if I had more time. And we need equitable representation, because a lot of times when we talk about our community, we have great need, right? So we're talking about this end of the spectrum. But what I like to do, hey, let's start on this end. Let's talk about the leadership, the vertical leadership, right? So like today, I was talking to a CCO on our town hall. They were talking about, you know, providing money, resources, and I go, well, why don't you provide us C-suite jobs, vice president jobs? Why don't you provide us director jobs in your CCO? Then we can burn the candle from both sides, right? No one ever talks about that. You know, we have professionals. I'm looking at a whole group of them right now that are definitely overqualified to be the next CEO of any corporation, right? And I know it, but we have to begin to talk about it, because they just think that we're looking for a handout. We're not looking for a handout. We just need a hand up and an opportunity. So estas son las áreas que enfocamos cuando comenzamos el OIN. Es como the way we say it. Primeramente, que las organizaciones comunitarias, we cannot afford, just like to have LatinoBuilt and others cease to exist. We've worked too hard to have our community-based organizations. If one doesn't survive the pandemic, then that could be detrimental to our community. Organizations like Centro Cultural, Latino Network, Pecun, Causa, many, many others. Obviously, we're in a pandemic. Healthcare was top. Education, again, that greatly impacts us. Again, small businesses, we definitely were fighting. We want to fight for our small business and make sure that they not only survive, but thrive. Housing, employment. And of course, with the murder of George Floyd and the wildfires, the racial justice and the wildfire movement is really important. So we're on the move. Siempre estamos haciendo algo. Somos un grupo puro voluntarios. And we host weekly town halls. This past January, we had a summit, which helped us lead into the legislative session. And one of the things that I made a commitment is I would try to make the 2021 legislative the most active session for Latinos in the history of Oregon. So I ask each one of you today, this afternoon, to please get involved in one of the bills or committees that you're passionate about. We need to have a voice there. They need to see us. If they don't see us, out of sight, out of mind, right? So try to be there as much as we can. We created a website. We have a weekly newsletter. We have social media. We started, I believe, maybe the first in the nation, but a statewide multilingual social media campaign, which I'll talk about. And then with all of our work, because this collective, we were awarded last fall a $5 million grant from the Oregon Health Authority, and we used that for the following areas. We gave over 50 grants of up to $75,000 to community-based organizations. This is one example of what we did, worked with Voice Worker Rights, which is an organization up in Portland, and we were helping them with mental health crisis with therapy, behavioral health. So that is one example, and this is, we also supported organizations that gave out food to the community. This actually, photos are actually in Hermiston, where we donated $75,000 to a local community-based organization. We're currently about to release our research or report in OEM in partnership with Oregon State and Portland State on the impacts of COVID-19. And we also provide mental health and legal services and to folks all over the state. These are again photos of people that were impacted in Southern Oregon in the Talent Phoenix area, and we're working with our indigenous community. We distributed over 5 million masks with partnership with the Oregon Human Development Corporation and the Oregon Child Development Coalition to Latinos, especially campesinos in all corners of the state, and to small businesses that needed them. And finally, the part that I talked about, this is probably the first in the nation. We created a statewide multilingual communication campaign in Espanol, Purépecha, Zapoteco, Mam, y Mixteco. Posiblemente es la primera vez que alguien lo hizo en un nivel estatal, este tipo de comunicación. Usamos el radio, nuestros medios de comunicación social, y también los newsletters and other forms of communication. So we did billboards and all that. So, and this is part of our example. This is actually was a billboard, and that was in Southern Oregon and Central Oregon. The lady with the mask, she's Purépecha, no, Zapoteco from, and so yeah, that's actually a real person. So con eso ya terminé mi presentación. Estoy abierto a preguntas si quieren o comentarios, por favor. Thank you again. I think, I guess I will leave you with this message is, and I'll try to stop sharing so we can actually see each other. But I just want to just say that, each of us has a gift. Cada uno de nosotros tenemos un regalo. But, and I think that was, and I guess it's a little bit spiritual, I'm not going to get too spiritual on you, but I think that's what we need to do. And I think my calling, I'm living my calling. Me being here, you're part of my calling. And my gift, I already knew. I tried to leave Woodburn, I'm telling you, like 10 times already, because it was just too much. Being the first Latino school board member ever in Woodburn, being the second city councilor, being the president of the Woodburn Downtown Association. I'm building a $45 million community center in Woodburn. I just got $20 million, I just found out yesterday. And I just finished 8 years on the State Board of Education. So what I'm asking you is to find your calling, to find your gift and share it. Don't share it with just your familia, which is beautiful, but share it with the rest of Oregonians, right? Because we need you. We need each and every one of you to follow your passion and do it. We know, yo sé que todos tenemos el trabajo que necesitamos hacer para pagar los biles, comprar comida, apoyar a nuestros hijos, pero si podemos usar nuestros regalos, ¿verdad? Con el Estado, especialmente la comunidad latina, eso es que necesitamos. So con eso, muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much for your attention and time. And I appreciate you all being here because you know what? This is volunteering, right? You're all busy, you're taking time, and maybe this is your gift, right? But I just wanted to hope that you can share whatever that is with the rest of us. Gracias.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Something that really resonated with me was a hand up, not a hand down. It really did. I had to write that down. And just for you guys to know, we are also partnering with OIN to come in there. And of course, any type of partnership is so integral in our community and supporting them. But I want to leave room if anybody has any questions for Anthony. We have a little bit of time that we can designate it. Feel free to just unmute yourself or put it in the chat or raise your hand, whatever works for you.
I just wanted to say earlier, I'm remoting, and so you've seen my chair at my office, but I'm actually at home, so I had to go on a different computer. So I just wanted to say hello to everybody. And Anthony, you did a wonderful job. Tu español es muy clara. Español es no mi primero lingüe, pero tu habla despacio, yo entiendo. So, I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to say your Spanish is very clear. I understand when you speak Spanish. It's almost like you're a teacher or something. I'm not. Spanish is not my first language, but when you speak it very clear and kind of at a slow pace, I can understand it. So I enjoyed your presentation, and it challenged me to listen very carefully. So thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that.
Love what you're doing, man. Keep it up. Really like it.
Thank you, Eric.
And thank you for sharing the statistics about all the numbers and how present we are in our country here. And that was eye-opening. We never, or at least myself, never really think of us, but we are a big percentage of this culture in this country, and it's pretty amazing. So I appreciate that. I hope, Liana, we can capture that information, or Anthony, we can share that slide that you proposed. That would be fantastic, because I think that for me was like, wow, are we really that much? So thank you.
Yeah, we're actually more, because the undercount is always, you know, there's an undercount. There's, like I said, I didn't even have the 100,000 plus undocumented. Hey, by the way, by the end of this decade, we're probably going to eclipse 1 million Latinos in Oregon. So, estamos creciendo. We're growing, as we all know. And, you know, I will say, Berenice and others, that we are really actually interconnected. So this OIN, this collective movement, believe it or not, we have a lot of conversations about contracting, construction, and all that. Obviously, there's a boom, but there's a huge opportunity. Liana and I talked about in Southern Oregon. They're literally rebuilding talent in Phoenix, Oregon, and a ton of Latinos were impacted. So anybody that's interested in doing work out there, there's literally going to be billions of dollars that's coming in from the federal government, from FEMA. I'm in all those meetings, and especially if you have again the Latinx, Latino background, and it impacted it just makes sense. I'm challenging them to, you know, to create high, you know, large aspirational goals in contracting. So, but we are in connected, believe it or not. We talk about contractors a lot all the time.
Well, thank you again, Anthony. It's so eye-opening. It's just great to hear it over and over again. I can never get enough myself. I am going to switch over. If there was anybody who entered late or hasn't had a chance to put their contact information or introduction information in the chat, please feel free to. That's what it's there for as well. We want to continue these relationships. So again, so much thanks, Anthony. You're really amazing to have. Oh, I see a hand from Juan. Juan, did you have a question?
Nope.
You guys are easy. I was ready. I was ready for you guys, but man, you guys are easy for me. So it was easy.
I just have a question.
Sure.
How can we get more involved with you, with your with what you guys do in the leadership of the Hispanic community? I would like to know more information about that.
Absolutely. Great question, Brenda. We have a website. It's pretty easy. www. I should put in the .olln.org. We have a contact form. Okay. We have weekly town halls, and it'd be great to have you, LatinoBuilt, as actually one of our special guests, and maybe have Liana and a couple of you to talk about what you do, and that's what we do. And we have people from all over the state, so it's really good to create awareness and network.
Awesome. I would definitely check it out. Thank you.
Por favor, gracias.
Thank you, Anthony. for that, and hang back and enjoy. And if anybody has any additional questions they thought of during it, please put it in the chat or direct message Anthony, and he'll be able to answer for you guys. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And again, best of luck with everybody. 2021 is our year. Let's go make it happen. All right. And I'll stick around, and I'll put my information in the chat. Gracias. Y cuídense.
Thank you. So next on our agenda is a little bit of a changing of the gear, because I would like to talk about women. Millions of Americans are suffering financially due to the coronavirus pandemic, but Latinas are experiencing job loss at higher levels than anyone else. For some women of color, unemployment has already struck more than once during the crisis. So I can only imagine once, but let alone multiple times. Many are struggling to find work in an increasingly tough economy. The jobless rate for Latinas aged 20 to 50, or age 20 and older, excuse me, is 50% higher than the national average of all Americans in the same age group. And Latinos are significantly underrepresented in the construction workforce. In 2015, less than 5% of Hispanic Latina construction workers were women, compared to 9% of all construction workers. At LatinoBuilt, we're thrilled to have much different percentages. Within our board, 50% are Latinas. Our staff is 50% Latina and 83% women. Our business owner members are 20% Latina. In March, we celebrated Women's History Month, and in May, we will celebrate mothers. To shine a light on the strength the Latinas have overcome all these barriers, and today, we would like to present a panel of accomplished Latinas in construction. To host our panel, I would like to introduce Natalie Pardo, LatinoBuilt's program manager. Natalie comes to us from the admissions, and new student programs office of Portland State University, and brings a strong management and interpersonal skills to her work with contractors and community at LatinoBuilt. Natalie received a BA in marketing and a MA in educational leadership and policy from Portland State University. And without further ado, here is Natalie to introduce our panel.
Hi, everyone. Buenas tardes. Hopefully everyone's having a great day. And hopefully you can hear me. If at any point my volume kind of dips out, just let me know in the chat. But again, as Leanna said, my name is Natalie Pardo. I am the program manager at LatinoBuilt, and I have the pleasure of presenting you with a few amazing Latina members who will share their stories with us. As you can see on this slide here, we have Brenda Castillo, Gladys Monroy Boutwell, and Maria Azucena Gallegos, who will be sharing their stories. And to kick it off, I will start with Brenda and highlighting her story. So Brenda Castillo is from JC Pro Builders. Brenda does it all. She's the president, estimator, bookkeeper, project manager for JC Pro Builders Construction LLC, recently founded in 2017. As a first-generation college graduate, owning her own business has been a major achievement in her life, and in 2020 was awarded her first major contract of just under $1 million. As her business continues to grow, she aspires to be one of the best within the state of Oregon and be able to provide prevailing wages to her employees. Her next business goal is to provide apprenticeships for women beginning their careers in construction. In her free time, Brenda loves to spend quality time with her loved ones. So with that, Brenda, I will kick off some questions for you and for the audience here. I'm actually going to stop share on the screen here so we can see each other. All right, Brenda, can you unmute yourself? The first question that I have for you today is why and how did you choose the career that you're in now?
All right. So I chose construction because my husband has been in construction for over 15 years. So, and just working. So after I graduated from Western Oregon University, we were just thinking what was the next step, and then construction came in, yes, on our thoughts. And with the work experience that he has and the capacity that I have in business, I think that we have made a really good teamwork together. And that's our, yes, that's where life pretty much put us.
No, that's how it happens sometimes. All right, and being in construction, I mean, like Leanna had just said, Latinas in construction, I mean, it's hard. It's a very low percentage. So I'm sure you've encountered many barriers being in that field. Can you tell us a little bit of maybe what you've seen and how you've overcome them?
Yeah, definitely. I think construction is just a really hard place for women. I think well, through my experiences, I guess we don't have the trust from all the general contractors, because they believe, okay, it's a woman, maybe she doesn't know everything about construction, and it's okay not to know everything because nobody does. But I guess for me, my first biggest barrier that I encountered was about 8 to 9 months ago. I wanted to get my my company COVID certified, and it was just back and forth. I did all the procedures and everything was done properly. And when I was about to submit everything, the agent told me, okay, well, you're gonna be denied. And I was like, why? And he's like, because you don't have experience hands-on in construction. And then I just told him, okay, well, I have installed windows, doors, and Tyvek for our clients. And he's like, oh, that's not enough. I need to have some certifications from you. So I was really disappointed. And then when I told him about my husband, he didn't even ask for any certifications for him. So for me, I believe they generalize men as in construction. They know. So I got really mad, and I just breathed. I even went back to Lena. I was like, this happened. And I just couldn't believe it. And then I just told this agent, okay, I'm going to be back with those certifications. And here I am 6 months after this happened. I got those certifications. I went into apprenticeship program for construction, and I did it, and I was able to prove them that I have the capacity to show them that women can do everything they want, and construction is not a barrier. It's just something, if you want to do this, you can do it. It's just a matter of hard work, discipline, and yes, persevere, because you always encounter barriers. So yeah.
I think to continue that thought, I mean, do you have any advice for women who are struggling or contemplating going into the construction field as their next career move?
I think my only advice is not to give up. Always work hard. There's nothing we can't do. Somos mujeres y somos fuertes y tenemos la capacidad de hacer lo que nos propongamos, siempre y cuando trabajemos duro y siempre preguntemos cuánto necesitamos encontrar respuestas. Tal vez si no sabemos, la persona nos van a conectar con la persona que sabe. Entonces, no se den por vencidas. Si estamos aquí es por algo y tenemos un propósito cada una de nosotros. Y si estamos en la construcción es porque podemos, solamente está en nosotros en demostrar que tenemos la capacidad para lograrlo. Y échenle ganas.
No, thank you for those words of wisdom. I think that's very important. I mean, even outside of construction, it's like definitely push yourself,
Yeah.
Be your own motivation, even if everyone else around you isn't there. With that being said, what motivates you to do what you do?
My family. I was brought to this country when I was 13 years old from Mexico. And for me to be able to provide for my parents and a stable economy for them. And now I have a son, so him, and ellos son todo para mí. Son mi motor, son la causa que me despierto temprano para trabajar, no importa qué día sea, la hora que sea, como ellos me motivan para echarle nomás para adelante. Y Y así es, yo creo que todos los latinos nos podemos relacionar con eso. La familia es algo muy importante para nosotros y nada, ellos son todo para mí.
Yes, I have a feeling family is going to be a common theme throughout this presentation today. Thank you. I guess to wrap it all up, do you have one positive, memorable experience from your career that you want to share with us?
I couldn't hear you, sorry.
Oh, no worries. I can repeat the question. What's the most memorable experience from your career? Let's do a positive one, if you can remember one.
So, well, last year, it was our first big contract that I was able to do it. To close it was under $1 million. So it was just something really important and big. And I couldn't believe it that I did it. And I think that's what I needed to boost my confidence in this field and just to believe that I can do it. So yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Brenda.
Thank you.
We will now move on to our next panelist. I now introduce Gladys Monroy Boutwell from Insurance by Design. Gladys, if you're there, I'll have you unmute yourself and camera.
Hello. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Andy, thanks for having me today.
Yes, thank you. All right, to kick off Gladys's questions, I will also read her bio. So Gladys Monroy Boutwell holds an agent license in health, life, property, and casualty for the states of Oregon and Washington. She has an MBA in International Business and Leadership and Management from the University of La Verne. She received the Madrina de Salud Award for her contributions to Latino equity in the state of Oregon. Gladys applies her professional skills and knowledge to create and manage employee benefit packages. She uses her bilingual skills to assist companies that have found it challenging to communicate detailed insurance information to their Spanish-speaking staff. In her spare time, Gladys enjoys running, wine and whiskey tastings, and traveling. All right, so with that, I have the same questions for you. Can you tell us a little bit how you managed to get into the insurance field and how that's even connected to construction?
De pura casualidad, truly. It was by fluke I got to insurance. I've been in financial services my entire life, but got into insurance when I became my mom's full-time caregiver. I couldn't have a 9-to-5 job. I had to just, even interviewing was so hard. And so it was what industry would allow me to have flexibility. And insurance was not at the top of my list, but it just so happened that it's like, hey, try this. So I got into insurance and I realized that I enjoyed it. Of all things, insurance. A lot of flexibility. A lot of my clients got to meet my mama because she went with me on non-dialysis days. ¿Qué vamos a hacer hoy? Well, yo voy a trabajar y usted se va conmigo. So I took her everywhere. If I had an enrollment event, I'd situate her and take care of mama. I'd say, oh, is that your mom? Yeah. They'd go talk to my mama. And when her health got worse, my clients understood when it was over the phone because my mom, and when she passed away, it's like a lot of my clients are like, oh my goodness, they felt it because they had met her and knew her. So it was by fluke I got into insurance. Now, porque hablo español, hay muchos latinos en construcción. Entonces, empezando a ayudar a los latinos, empecé a ayudar a muchos en la industria de construcción. Y de ahí, ayudando a los individuales, de ahí empecé a ayudar a las compañías. Entonces, ha sido algo que ha sido bonito porque tantos, aunque no sean los dueños latinoamericanos, los trabajadores sí. Entonces, puedo comunicarme con ellos sin problema.
No, Spanish is so important to have in today's work. So thank you. Yes, it's funny how like people are like, insurance, what does that have to do with construction? Like at least in the most immediate sense, it has a lot to do with it. All right, being in your field, can you tell us a little bit more about some barriers you've encountered and what you've done to overcome them?
So the same as with construction, it's very much a white man, not just male, but also white males. When I go to a lot of the trainings, I'm one of 2 females and I'm probably the only one under 50. So a lot of times it's like, oh, what do you know about insurance? Because I'm not a tall male. Entonces, eso a veces es difícil porque tenemos que trabajar un poquito más fuerte o duro de una manera diferente para poder agarrar la atención de otros. But we can't be too pushy because then, oh no, that's some woman you don't want to deal with. So it's finding that fine line. A lot of times it's the businesses that I'm working with are those that want to work with a slight feminine touch to it, that I know what I'm talking about. And when I start talking to them about things and asking questions that they had not asked before, I'm offering things that they had never been offered before because they were used to it. You're getting what you're getting. This is your renewal. Okay. Or no renewal. It's like, oh, we renewed. Okay. Well, when I start saying, well, what about this? Or what about that? Or offering this? Or here's options. Then they're like, oh, there's options. And then I start sharing resources. And I love to be able to take my clients and promote them on social media. If they're having an event, I'm posting it on social media. Hey, here's this client, here's this nonprofit, or here's this other organization doing this. And they start seeing that I'm doing the things that larger organizations won't do for them. You know, I love to be able to take care of them and their staff the way that they deserve to be treated, and not just here's an 800 number that's out of state. And I found that that really has helped drive certain individuals and certain businesses that I want to work with towards me.
Yeah, word of mouth is very necessary as well in our community. And yeah, I think there's a very distinct difference between someone just being a customer, but treating someone as a friend, and really being able to build those relationships. I think you've found the key there. So for our next question, what motivates you to do what you do? I know you touched on your mom a little bit. Is there something else?
So two things that are my values are education and helping others. And I get to do that through insurance. So tengo la oportunidad de educar a mis clientes para que después de una hora de hablar conmigo tengan una comprensión de sus planes y cómo utilizarlo. Y les puedo ayudar porque muchos de mis clientes están enfermos y necesitan encontrar un plan médico, y les ayudo a conectarse con otros recursos. Y esos que tienen estatus migratorio aquí, que le puedo ayudar a encontrar esos créditos fiscales para ayudarles a pagar. Y para algunos, employee benefits, through the business, haciendo esas preguntas. ¿Cuál va a ser mejor, individual o grupal? ¿Qué podemos hacer? Y de ahí protegiendo el ingreso. If you're the primary business owner and you're the only breadwinner, what's going to happen if you're not working? How do we protect that income? How do we protect your family? So I get to help. I get to educate, and that's fun.
That's very true. With that being said, what's the most memorable experience from your career?
Being honored to get the Madrina de Salud Award, that made me feel good because that showed me I'm doing something for my community. I'm giving back. I'm helping, I'm educating, I'm out there doing my part to help my Latinos. And that was huge for me specifically because I confuse people because I'm a little bit lighter, because even Monroy sounds not so Latino. And so I was discriminated against to a certain extent by my own people because I wasn't Latina enough. I wasn't dark enough. But yeah, my Spanish was better than theirs. And so I separated myself for a good time from my Latinos because I didn't feel welcome. And when I came to Oregon and I started working again with the Latino population and felt embraced and felt that I was doing something that meant something, and getting that award was just the thing that said, okay, I've accomplished what I've set out to do, was to help Latinos and help educate them on this is something that's so important that they need. So that's been like the biggest thing. I did get Business of the Year last year, which was huge here in Wilsonville. And then I'm also a #1 best-selling author on Amazon with my book, Health Insurance Secrets Revealed. So those are like 3 things, but truly what's closest to and dearest to my heart was that award, which doesn't seem like, it's like, oh, it's a little plaque, but no, it means a lot more deep down inside for who I am and who I want to represent.
No, congratulations. Any award is, like confetti in the air, celebrated all around, like it's an award. All right, and so for our final closing question, what words of advice do you have for women who are either struggling, contemplating, moving into maybe insurance as their next career move?
Think about, what do you want? Why do you want it? What motivates you? How's it going to make you happy? That's number one. Number two is brainstorm. The good, the bad, and the ugly. ¿Cuál es lo bueno de la industria, lo malo de la industria, y lo feo de la industria? Doesn't matter what industry. So that you can really see, what am I getting into, or why am I in this? And then make a plan. Hello, it's all about planning. I say smarter plans. So specific, measurable, attainable, it's relevant, time-bound. And then what are the excuses you're gonna make when you don't wanna do it? And then when you do reach it, what are the rewards that you're gonna be able to get out of it? Whatever that may be. It could be the sense of accomplishment, it could be an award, it could be vacation, but you have to address the excuses and the rewards along with everything else. And when you have that plan, nobody's gonna stop you. Adelante, mujeres.
Yes, adelante, mujeres. Gracias, Gladys, for participating in our panel. I will now jump to our final panelist. I will introduce to you Maria Azucena Gallegos from PDR Painting. Maria, if you can turn on your camera for our audience, I'm going to switch over to Spanish since Maria's preferred language is Spanish. Así que María, hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Voy a nada más leer su biografía, la voy a leer en inglés y ahorita regresamos otra vez al español. All right, everyone, so I'm going to introduce her in English and switch over to Spanish questions shortly, but Maria Azucena Gallegos is the operational assistant for PDR Painting LLC, recently founded in 2017. She does it all. She's not afraid to get her hands dirty and go out in the field to help her husband and their company. As PDR Painting continues to grow, Maria hopes to continue developing both their business and construction skills to grow in the field and increase their capacity. Her ultimate goal is to grow a self-sustaining business where she can step away from the operations without worry and spend time with her 4 daughters. In her free time, Maria loves to spend quality time with her family, going out to the park with her daughters, and taking care of her home. So for the questions, again, I will read them off in Spanish. Maria will answer in Spanish, and I'll try to translate it on the spot for everyone in our audience. Ok, María, ¿por qué eligió la construcción como su carrera?
Bueno, yo pienso que más bien en realidad yo no la elegí, ella me eligió a mí. Mi esposo ya tenía muchos años trabajando en la pintura. Entonces, pues yo me casé con él y seguimos con lo mismo. Él hacía su negocio de pintura, entonces yo ya me introducía con él, ya iba con él, entonces empecé yo a ayudarle ahí. Y pues a mí también, como a mi esposo, también me gusta mucho la pintura. Claro que no sé lo que él sabe, pero me gusta mucho y me gusta cómo queda el acabado. Es muy bonito.
All right. Gracias. She did say the career did not pick her, or she didn't pick the career picked her, is the way she thinks of it. Her husband has been in the field of painting for many years. And so once they got married, they transitioned into the business and helping him out. Ultimately, she loves to see the finished product as an accomplishment. Ok, para la segunda pregunta, ¿usted ha encontrado algunas barreras de ser mujer en el campo de construcción? O sea, problemas, cómo se siente de ser mujer en construcción, cosas así.
Pues todo el tiempo hay obstáculos, hay problemas. Las mujeres no nos tienen la misma confianza como los hombres. Piensan que si te vas a subir al techo te vas a caer. Que no puedes estar en las alturas, porque esos piensan que solamente es de hombres, y pues realmente no. Nosotros las mujeres...
Que no puedes recoger cajas pesadas.
Ajá, o que no podemos cargar cosas pesadas, igual las escaleras, pero pues realmente también lo podemos hacer. Claro, no tenemos la misma fuerza que los hombres, pero lo podemos hacer. sí podemos. Hay mañitas, hay que buscar las mañitas y todo, y sí se puede. Pero sí he visto esos obstáculos, y pues más bien en vez de reprimirme, me hacen como que yo puedo y lo tengo que hacer y no me tienen que apagar esos obstáculos. Entonces yo tengo que seguir adelante y echarle más ganas. Porque quiero crecer, pues más bien yo quiero que mi compañía, la compañía de mi esposo crezca, entonces queremos ser grandes y para allá vamos.
Sí, claro, echarle ganas. She did mention kind of similarly, like Brenda, just being a woman in construction, people think twice that women can't do it. They can't lift those heavy objects. I think I heard her daughter in the background say that one. You just can't go up a ladder. You're going to easily get hurt. But really, that's just one more motivation to push and complete the job and be in this field. So that's like, you just got to keep going. Ok, para su tercera pregunta, ¿qué es lo que la motiva a seguir en este trabajo?
Oh, mi motivación más grande, como decía la compañera, igual que todo, pues, somos latinas, y yo pienso que como dice ella, todos los latinos es lo que nos atrae mucho, es la familia. Yo, mi motivación más grande son mis hijas, porque yo quiero un futuro mejor para ellas. Quiero crecer junto con ellas, quiero que tengan una gran carrera. Entonces, ellas son mi todo, mi motivación, ellas, cuando me levanto, cómo me despierto siempre, hasta para cuando me voy a acostar, siempre las tengo que revisar, las checo, que todo esté bien. Me levanto igual cuando tengo que ir a trabajar, me despido de ellas, a la hora de desayunar, a la hora de que están en las clases. O sea, toda mi motivación son ellas, igual mi esposo, que si yo no voy a trabajar, como quieras vas a llegar, y siempre estamos esperando que llegue él para decir, oh, llegó con bien, gracias a Dios, está aquí, y que todo salió bien, y siempre, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo salió todo? ¿Cómo te fue en el día y todo? O sea, mi motivación siempre es mi familia.
And we all work to get that bread.
Yes, of course, get that bread. That's the mission there. Maria's motivation is definitely her family, similarly like Brenda said, her husband and her children or her daughters, and making sure her daughters have everything they need, and motivating them to continue growing, and hopefully having a business for them set up in the future as well. Ok, para la siguiente pregunta, ¿cuál es su experiencia más memorable de su carrera?
Pues experiencias he tenido muchas, cuando pues empecé a ir a trabajar con mi esposo, de pensar que no sabía nada y cómo he ido mejorando cada día. El que estábamos abajo, que no teníamos la compañía, y cómo luchamos para tenerla ahora. Saber que sí podemos, esa es una gran motivación, saber que sí podemos ser muy positivos todo el tiempo, y como nosotros como latinos levantarnos, es una gran motivación de que saber que sí podemos, sí se puede salir en este país adelante, que podemos ser uno más de las personas que están arriba, y que para allá vamos encaminados, y que todo se puede. Entonces, eso es muy satisfactorio para mí, es una gran motivación, todo eso.
Yes, and so for Maria, some of her most kind of memorable moments in her career, definitely just remembering where she started, not having any kind of business, and actually not even having any experience in painting, and then her husband being able to have his business, and then now the opportunity for her to continue working in that field. From day one, not knowing anything, to now she knows a lot more in practice. So that overall has just kind of been an evolving moments for her and memorable for her business. Como su última pregunta, si hay algunas mujeres que quisieran empezar en la construcción o que quieran hacer pintura, ¿qué consejo les daría?
Que siguieran adelante, que no hay obstáculo que no podamos romper, que todo se puede, que por ser mujeres, por mucha más razón, porque somos bien aferradas, nos entregamos, entonces le echamos ganas, echamos para adelante y sí se puede. Si otros abrieron camino, hay que extenderlo más, sí se puede y podemos salir adelante y como dice el dicho, para todos sale el sol, entonces sí se puede y además, no, pero no tanto. Sí, dice mi hija que echando a perder se aprende, pero pues sí, más que nada rompiendo los obstáculos que hay en el camino, porque no va a ser fácil. Vamos a luchar contra ellos, se nos van a presentar muchas cosas, a lo mejor vamos a pensar en un momento que no vamos a poder, pero no, con más razón tenemos que seguirle adelante porque sí se puede. Y todas aquellas mujeres que quieren intentarlo, háganlo, sí se puede, todas podemos. No va a ser fácil, pero podemos, sí se puede. Adelante.
Okay. So like Maria said, and I think this is a common theme that we've heard throughout this panel is, you know, you're a woman, but that shouldn't be your obstacle. If anything, that gives us more reason to continue breaking the barriers and being able to do all the things that we can do. And, you know, just trying and continuing to try, and you can do it. That's ultimately what you can do. Pues gracias, María, por tomar un poco de su tiempo esta tarde para estar con nosotros. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brenda, Gladys, Maria. With Maria, we wrap up our panel. So again, huge thanks to all of our accomplished Latinas for sharing their stories on the panel today. And I will give the spotlight back to Leanna.
Oh my goodness, it just gives me chills listening to what these ladies have to say. I mean, I took away from it, obviously, family, you know, number one. And then I really got, you know, women are the glue. They're like what holds it all together. We're a force to be reckoned with. You know, I heard mothers, caregivers, wives, all of that. So it was really amazing to be able to highlight just three of them. But we know all you women out there, as like I had demonstrated originally, there's a lot of us. And we're really represented here in LatinoBuilt, and I'm excited to be part of it. So thank you so much, everyone. And we're going to move directions now on to our third portion of our agenda, and it's an opportunity for our partners to present their opportunities. Today, we're going to kick it off with Anderson Construction, and I'm handing it over to Sam.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for having me. This is fabulous, and I enjoy these conversations a lot, even though I can only understand half of it. I agree with a lot of the sentiments that have been shared today. And is it okay if I share my screen? I have just a couple slides that I wanted to
Yep, you have
through.
permission.
Okay, perfect. Let me hop in here. So we are working on a design build project with SRG Partnership, who is an architecture firm in Portland, Oregon, with WSU Vancouver. Jason with WSU Vancouver is here with me today, so maybe he'll share a few words as well. But this project that we are working on right now is a expanded curriculum for the sciences for WSU Vancouver. It's about a 60,000 square foot new addition to their campus, one that fits into their ever-evolving master plan. And you can see here it's 3 levels of program with mechanical here at the top, but it involves both teaching and research lab environments, and it serves a really important function for WSU's expanded academic and research programs. So we're really excited to be involved with the building. the campus is really dynamic, and we're really excited to be a part of it. It's a growing, ever-growing campus, and it has aspirations to include housing, to be you know, a 24-hour campus that actually has students that are living on campus in the long term, but in the short term, it's a commuter campus. So small, beautiful location on top of the hill in Vancouver, Washington. And the building is it's simple in its form, but complicated in its execution, and includes some pretty robust programmatic spaces, including a vivarium, which is a really intense environment. And as I said, some other kind of key lab and lab functions, both in research and academics, as well as some offices and support functions as well. We are going through a series of trade partner onboardings for this project. We have already gone through MEP, and the next package that we are procuring is going to be for exteriors, including cladding systems, windows, roofing, window install, and then we are going to be doing structural steel as well. And that package is coming out shortly. You can see here, following that, we'll be going into the some other miscellaneous metals, some civil and landscape excavation, doors, hardware, and then rounding it out with casework and equipment. The timeline for the building of the project is going to be starting the first part of 2022. So we're in design right now. We're just starting into design development. It'll go through, design will go through the most of this year. There's going to be permitting that starts about halfway through the year, so in June. And you can see here that excavation is going to start right at the perfect time, right in the middle of winter, and foundations and structure, et cetera, to follow. The total build duration is looking to be about 20 months.
Thank you, Sam. And I know that we will have presentations and so forth that will be emailed out to everybody, as well as the recording of this meeting. Thank you so much for that.
You bet.
And we are going to jump over to Madeline with Kiewit.
Is it starting to work? Is it sharing the screen?
It is, but I'm shared again.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I closed out of there.
Okay, there, now you're sharing.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, thanks for this opportunity to present, and thank you for sharing those stories. They're very inspirational to, you know, someone younger starting out, knowing that we'll get through those hard times as women. But yeah, so I am Madeline. I am with Kiewit. I am the procurement manager on the Columbia Boulevard wastewater treatment plant project in Portland, Oregon. I oversee that job specifically for all procurements and subcontract opportunities. I've also got Devontae here with me today. He's overseeing the Southwest Washington, Oregon region for subcontractor opportunities and future upcoming procurements. So about Columbia, this is a City of Portland Bureau of Environmental Services project. It's their secondary treatment expansion program. It includes, some of the main points of it are the construction of 2 new 150 diameter clarifiers, a brand new solids handling facility. So we'll go in and demo all the existing structures in the way and create that new building for them. And then there's a bunch of civil and site work that are associated with the other scopes as well. And then right now we are in phase 1 of the project, which just started at the beginning of this year. We're just really getting kicked off on it. And that will go till the end of 2022. And then we'll jump into phase 2 of the project, which is about 70% of the work. And that'll take us all the way through the end of 2024. I put our website link down there as well, and I can send that in the chat later. That is where we're going to be posting a lot of our upcoming opportunities. I've also put my Columbia Boulevard email down there. That's a good way to get on the list for future upcoming opportunities in case, you know, something comes up that you're interested in. Next page, these are, first is on the left is the GMP1 scopes we're anticipating to put out to bid in the upcoming months for this year. And then as we get through this year, 2021, we'll start ramping up for GMP2, even though that work's starting in the end of next year. But these are some of our opportunities. If any of them interest you or related scopes, feel free to email me, contact me. We're still in development for some of the designs, so to be determined exactly what they look like, but we'd love to hear from anyone. Yeah, that's pretty much for Columbia Boulevard. If you have any questions, again, shoot me an email, and I'll put that link in the chat as well. But yeah, thank you for letting me attend and present today to you.
Yes, thank you for doing so. And once again, we'll also have this information emailed out to you if you missed it in the chat. Next, we will head over to Lester with TriMet.
Yes, hello. Let me just figure out how to share the screen here. Liana, you may be shared twice, but hopefully you can see the slide deck now. So we have an upcoming project. It is going to be our materials management center. It's out on Columbia Boulevard between 42nd and 46th Avenue. Before the pandemic, TriMet had envisioned this site, which we acquired from Caterpillar, to be our 4th bus base and our largest one. But with the reduced ridership during the pandemic, we've had to put that plan on hold for the time being, but we're still moving forward with this project. So here's a project overview. It's a renovation of an existing warehouse. It's building number 10 for anybody that's familiar with the site. It's a pretty straightforward tenant improvement. We're going to be asking a contractor to prepare the building to be used for TriMet's new regional distribution center. We'll be expanding the warehouse space and improving the area, as well as building new offices for our purchasing and stores teams. Here are the scopes of work. We have abatement, communications and security, concrete, demolition, electrical, exterior walls, windows and doors, fire suppression, framing, drywall, interior finishes, landscaping, lighting, mechanical, site work, painting, both in the interior and exterior, plumbing, testing and lab services, and utility relocation services. Here's a picture of the inside of the warehouse. So Caterpillar, the company that we acquired the property from, used this building for warehouse space. So it already has a lot of the racking that we need, but like I said earlier, we're just doing a tenant improvement. Here's a picture of the floor plan. Here's some information about the procurement. We estimate the project to be between $3.75 and $4.25 million. Because of that threshold, and because our internal engineering construction team designed the project to 100%, we are forced to do a low bid. We intend to advertise the low bid in late June or late May or early June. We're wrapping up some permitting issues with the city of Portland, and then we plan to prepare the bid for release. The estimated construction schedule is 8 to 9 months from the notice to proceed to substantial completion. Typically, TriMet requires, $5 million for CGL and business auto liability, but we worked with our risk department to lower the insurance requirements for this project, because we know sometimes those can be a barrier for smaller contractors. And we will be advertising the bid on our procurement system, which we call TRIPS. And so here's the website, trimet.org/procurement. If you're not already registered, please register your company, and you'll have the opportunity to select, various commodity codes that will provide for a notification system for upcoming opportunities, this one specifically. Here's some contact information for people to get in touch with if this seems like a project that interests you and fits within your schedule. We really want to hire a minority or disadvantaged or women-owned general contractor. And obviously our 20% aspirational goal for COVID firm utilization is going to apply. We would love to have 100%. We would love to find a certified GC, who is like David Molinas, who really focuses on hiring subcontractors within his community. So that's our goal here. We will be developing a flyer and sending it out as well. But we want to hear from you if you're interested. We'd be willing to take contractors out to the site to give them a walkthrough before it's issued. We're happy to meet with our project manager and provide as much information as possible. So thank you for the opportunity to present. And I'll just echo what was said earlier. The success stories and the achievements that were shared during the panel were amazing. And Anthony is just truly an inspiring individual. So thanks again for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Lester. Thank you for presenting as well. And always in our newsletter, The Pulse, we also have TriMet's opportunities to listed there every month to be on the lookout for that. So thank you very much. I can't believe it. We are on time today. Another huge thank you to our keynote speaker, Anthony Velez, our amazing panel of accomplished Latinas in construction, Brenda, Gladys, Maria, to our wonderful partner presenters, and to our amazing membership, you. You all are our drive and our purpose to change the future. Once again, we want you to follow, like, subscribe to us, and also all of our social channels there. And any way to contact us, any way you need, it's up there. And also, we are the newest charitable organization on Amazon Smile. So if you're like me, who does so much Amazon shopping because we don't want to go anywhere, right? Choose LatinoBuilt Foundation as your charitable organization for that. And there's also always a link in our post for it. There's also a link in my signature if you email me. So all kinds of ways to get that information if you can't find it by searching. And our next meeting will be for our general membership meetings will be July 14th. Maybe by then we might have a little bit more flexibility. I mean, construction workers, I got my first vaccine already. Construction workers are frontline workers who are getting vaccinated. So here's hoping for something great. So thank you everyone again. And please reach out to us if you need anything. We're here to serve you. Have a great evening.